ever seen. Not the go.
Because that's two different methods of communication.
Yeah,
transportation. Off-season free agent Derrick Henry.
I hadn't even thought of that.
The boat train, it sounded was weird, but I get it now.
25 rushes, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Remember Jerry Jones wasn't interested in Derrick Henry? Take a listen.
Hats off to him. He had a great day today, and have all the respect in the world for him. And so that's what happens when you don't sign good ones. They can come back and have a great game against you. But bottom line is we couldn't afford it.
Okay. It's not just as the salary cap guy. It's not true.
Okay.
No. Just for the record, it's flat. Whether they should have or shouldn't have. What he is saying is not accurate according to what he signed for, their cap, and all of that.
Well, he signed for 2 years, $16 million, only $9 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and his cap hit this year for Baltimore is $5 million.
So if the thing is this, and correct me if I'm wrong, all they had to do was sign Dak, and you could have signed CD2 early, right, in the spring, April, whenever.
Then it would have been super easy, correct.
The contracts, and you can sign Derrick Henry or whoever, Saquon Barkley, whoever.
No one's better at this than Jerry Jones, so I'm going to take his.
He is not correct.
Yeah.
They could have afforded him. And if you couldn't get Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, 2 guys I said they should go after. Look, I'm glad they didn't. I'd rather those 2 be where they're at. But go get somebody.
Well, that's the point.
Go get somebody. The running backs are back. It's the return of the back.
I said that's right. I said that's a good point. What do you mean? I said he's right about that.
We've been saying this for months. we said it all through the summertime.
Well, when I go, maybe I will be. Maybe I will admit that.
Do you think one of these guys, Tony, who they got?
Doing a lot of work
Rico
there.
Dowdle,
He's been saying this.
Rico Dowdle. They don't have a running back averaging 4 yards a carry.
No, they don't.
Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdle, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick. You said one of them.
Dalvin Cook hasn't come on yet, so we'll see what happens with him.
Stop it.
Right, he's next.
Stop it.
Yeah.
The Ravens rushed for more yards yesterday, 275, 270 something, than the Cowboys have all season.
Of course.
And it ain't even close.
No.
The Cowboys have rushed for 220 all season. They're like 29th in the league. So, and I think the main problem, again, it makes them one-dimensional. We all know Dak's going to have to throw it, and Dak's not Mahomes or Burrow or somebody like that. He can't carry him by himself.
Yeah, Jerry's definitely at fault. Like, aside from the contract piece, let Derrick Henry tell it, which he did. He never was even contacted from anyone.
And he lives in Dallas. He wanted to be there.
Like,
local call.
Forget negotiating what the number would have been. No one even reached out. So that's just when you know that that's a situation or an issue that you need to address, and you don't even try to reach out to see. Let's see if he'll just come and put the uniform on.
Maybe would have given us
That'd be cool. Let's
see if he just wants to be here, be home.
Helmet.
You know, you never know. He didn't take that chance. But for me, when you look at Jerry Jones, he has to take some of the blame. I'm not going to give him all the blame, but when we talk personnel, he's in control of it.
Yeah.
You had Aaron Jones. You had an opportunity to go get Aaron Jones. Look what he's doing with the Minnesota Vikings.
There are a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys.
There's so many guys that he had the opportunity to relieve some of this pressure off of Dak and CD so that they wouldn't be, as you just alluded to, one-dimensional.
Well, now Hubs is telling me we have 30 seconds. Hubs,
No,
I reject your 30
seconds. No, we
this
have
guy
to
made
stay
this
on
whole
time. We have to stay on time.
All summer he said one thing. Now we have a fork in the road moment. Go ahead. He said you have as long as you need.
I want Brew to be able to talk about Brock Purdy next segment. It's not fair. Listen, the early returns would say that the Cowboys' plan at running back, which I did endorse, right now appears to be the wrong one. I will say that. We're early in the season, but it would appear that right now it was a strategic error by the Dallas Cowboys. I think the process was sound, and it didn't quite work out. But I'd elaborate more, but we don't have time.
You told us that a fan could run.
Can you give Tony Pollard some props right now?
He had 14 yards yesterday. No, I can't.
We start with a dud in Dallas. Ended with a bit of a comeback. Cowboys fall to 1-2 as the Ravens run over and through the Dallas defense. Tempers and frustrations flared. Here's Micah postgame.
Right now, we got people just trying to be Superman. People just got to own their jobs, bro. We don't need everyone to be Superman. We don't need no Supermans at all. We just need 11 guys playing together. Everyone in the locker room saying we're going to do what we got to do and everyone's going to be accountable, then when you come out, we're just like, how are we getting gas? We're not being accountable, we're not set right. I need to get these guys behind me to trust me first. Like, I don't want to make those plays by myself because they're just going to slow them down, right? So I need everyone to do that, right? Not just me. So I don't feel like I should be telling another grown man to consistently be accountable. At some point, they got to take it within themselves. So every day within ourselves, we got to say, did we get better? Did I get better today?
Okay, a lot there to unpack. Brew, your reaction and eventually a grade, if you could.
You want the grade. All right, let me react to Micah. First of all, he said I shouldn't be telling grown men to be accountable, but he spent the whole 5 minutes of his presser holding grown men accountable. Nick, I didn't see, and I watched the whole thing, I didn't see him once. He mentioned I a couple times, but it was in a different context, I felt. I didn't see him once say, I got to do this. I have to be better. I have to look in the mirror. So I don't think that's going to sit well in the locker room because he should have taken some more accountability. I think it's poor leadership and it's a lack of accountability by the best player. Secondly, you're Superman, Micah. You're supposed to be Superman.
Correct.
When you start negotiating your contract, or you probably already did this offseason trying, you're not going to be like, hey, I'm just one of 11 doing my role. Let me do my part. You're going to be like, I'm Superman. And he is supposed to be a game wrecker a la TJ Watt, a la Myles Garrett. All right, we see a la Max Crosby, other guys wrecking games. All
Trey
right?
Hendrickson. A lot of the best edge rushers this year have wrecked at least one, if not two games or a game and a half.
Yep.
Mike is yet to do it.
He hasn't wrecked anything. In fact, and this is related to my grade. Let's look at this graphic of Micah's lack of production. You see the previous 3 years of his career, he's essentially in the top 10 every year in sacks and tackles for losses.
Yeah.
In 2022, he dropped
Right there,
a little.
yeah.
This year, one of each. And look at that. 119 guys have more tackles for losses than Micah. 59 guys have more sacks. And I'm going to get those one sack, one tackle for loss. That was in the first game.
Week one
so
against
last
Cleveland.
2 weeks, he has yet to have a sack or a tackle for loss. So I need Micah to be Superman. So he's had a drop-off. That's a hint. Drop off.
What's that?
All right, second thing.
Get it?
Jerry Jones.
I don't.
Jerry Jones, and I'm not going to jump on you, Nick, but you don't think the running backs are important. I do.
We're going to get.
And neither does Jerry Jones.
That's
You know, you're
later
doing the
on,
whole
bro.
show.
Well,
We
let me
need
just
a
say,
grade.
Derrick Henry ran for 151,
Yeah,
and he wanted to be a Cowboy, and y'all didn't want him.
Yeah.
So Derrick.
Oh,
That's a hit.
now I'm getting
Derrick.
it. Oh,
It gets a
drop
little
off,
slow.
Derrick.
Drop off.
Oh, so now
And look, let me say this. It was hard because for 3 quarters they looked like a clear F. And then they obviously rallied, had a chance to win.
Could have won.
But I
Not
put
coulda
more
won.
of that on the Ravens' complacency and
that's
just
fair.
utter foolishness than the Cowboys' ability. So D for drop off of Micah and D for Derrick Henry,
Okay.
who should be a Dallas Cowboy.
Wow. All right. Well done all across the
Dak
board.
escapes on that.
Yeah, I was going to say Dak.
Right
there,
That,
there.
yeah, you're right. He definitely
that
escaped.
maybe would have
I didn't want to
better
pile
than
on.
drop off, but that's fine. So the grade's totally fair. I think on this show, I'm the one person who most often defends Micah. I think it's not like anybody really attacks his play prior to this, but I think the podcast people have a bigger issue with than I do. Sure. Some of the comments. I thought this post-game press conference was indefensible, given lining up with what he did, what he said with how he played. So before we roll the tape, I just want to make some clear. What he is, I think, describing there repeatedly is guys not playing kind of almost nerdy football ease, not playing your gaps, not playing your assignment, and then you try to do too much, and then the guy goes where you were supposed to be. You're out of position. And granted, I'm not in Mike Zimmer's meetings.
Yeah.
But I watched the beginning of this game, and on the first play of the game for Baltimore's offense and the last play